we have a brand new challenge. Today we are starting a $3,000 to $100,000 challenge. Let's talk about this. Now, we have undertaken a few different challenges so far, and most of them do revolve around meme coins, which understandably is quite risky. But today we are starting a brand new series, and this is the $3,000 to $100,000 challenge. What we're going to be doing today is trying to turn $3,000 over the course of the next 12 months into $100,000 with margin trading. Now, this is mostly going to be done through crypto, but eventually, as we get better, we can eventually start moving into stocks and I guess see how that goes. But for right now, we're going to be focusing on crypto. I've been paper trading, I've been practicing, we've done a lot of technical analysis, and I feel like for a brand new series, this is going to be a really good way to do it. So we are starting off with an account with $3,000 in it, and we're going to be trading on Hyperliquid. I already have some Hype tokens staked that will be affecting the results of this as well, but we can actually see both our returns every single day, and then we can stretch this out to over a month, over a year, and all time. So that is why we're going to be doing this. It is really easy to track our portfolio, and obviously everything is on the blockchain, which just makes it so much easier. Hyperliquid is also an amazing platform. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but if you want to get set up, you can use my code down below as well, which I think gets both of us cheaper fees, which is a no-brainer. But that is the plan today. Now, leverage trading, it's a little bit different to meme coins. Obviously, with meme coins, you're just sort of buying a narrative, but I feel like with perps and proper trading, it's a bit more technical. Obviously, there are still narratives, and you do have to stay up to date with the news and what's going on, basically to see what's going to happen with each coin. But for the most part, I feel like a lot of this is going to be indicator-based. We're going to be looking for smaller trades and scalp trading. So we're going to be buying into a position, hopefully holding on to it for about 15, 20 minutes, maybe an hour at the most, and trying to make as much money as we can. We're going to be using leverage with this. So with our $3,000 portfolio, if we're using 10x leverage, we're basically trading with $30,000. That is why we need to have good risk management, because we need to make sure that our stop losses are tight so that we cannot lose our entire balance in one trade, because that would be stupid. So what we're going to be doing is setting stop losses at about $150 to $200 in the negative. That way, we're ensuring that the most we can lose is $150 to $200, and that is going to stay constant throughout this entire experiment. Obviously, if we do eventually build up our account to crazy numbers, then we can make that a bit bigger so that we can just play with more money and I guess back in our thesis a little bit more, as opposed to maybe the fact where we are correct in our thinking but just a little bit too early, then we will see a negative result. That is the plan today, and the best way to start this off is just with a 24-hour challenge. Now, this is not financial advice. Please do not copy me. I mean, I trade meme coins, so do not copy what I'm doing, because it's not going to work. This is just for education, I guess. I mean, seriously, don't copy this. Like, just don't. But if you are excited to see where this challenge takes us, then make sure to hit the subscribe button. May as well leave a comment down below as well. What you expect to happen throughout this series. I mean, are we going to get liquidated, lose everything? Or do you feel like we actually have some hope of making some money? Or are we going to make $1 million? Let me know before we even start. Alright, let's enter this trade here. Now, I am going long. I feel like this reversal really sort of came out of nowhere, and comparing this against other charts, it just doesn't seem like it lines up. So we are actually on the Hyperliquid chart right now. This is on the 1 minute chart as well. I have Bitcoin and Solana charts up on my other monitor, and of course some other indicators like RSI that we can show you soon. But I basically think this whole pattern is just going to continue, how we sort of have these peaks and then it dips back down, peaks at a higher level and then dips back down. So I'm aiming for around here, that 39.5 level. I feel like that is where it's going to go. It might take a little bit of time to play out, but that is definitely where I'm looking at. So even if we zoom out a little bit, you can still see this trend continuing. So even if we just sort of go back up to where this chart was only a few minutes ago, we're starting to make quite a decent amount of money. So let's just see how this plays out. Okay, there we go. Finally in the green. It sort of took a little while. Obviously, the 1 minute charts, you sort of see these candles when nothing happens. If you can see the MACD down the bottom, it is still negative. So I was hoping that we get in before that flips positive, and we're going back negative. So it just seems like we're sort of hanging around our entry. We obviously do have a lot of leeway with this stop loss. I think it's about a $200 stop loss. So there is a little bit of room to move there. It is probably worth looking at the other indicators as well. The other charts look fine. So it does look like it is just trading around this level. Okay, there we go. It is dipping down a little bit, but we'll still just let this run. Over the next few minutes, this trend really just continued of going up, down, until we finally saw some big candles that put us close to $100 in the negative. And even then, it still seemed like this theory could play out, just building out those further valleys before a peak would form. So after over 10 minutes of this trade, we were now over $100 in the red. Oh my God, there we go. Okay, huge candle. We were nearly at stop loss. You can see where that line got to. I still feel like it could go up here. Even to 40 might be a bit of a stretch. But this is now on the 5 minute candle. So you can see this huge candle that has been forming. Damn, this could be good. There we go. Finally back in the positive. So we got so close to that stop loss. But it does look like we could form these two peaks again at 39.7. So if we get to that level all the way over here, we are going to print. We actually might put a line in there soon just so we can sort of track that level. But this is good. This is finally good. So this is our theory, I guess, playing out in real time. So as long as we break through these previous highs that we saw like an hour ago, this chart could just explode. So there are some good momentum coming out. It looks like a lot of stocks are going to be tokenized, which is crazy and definitely bullish for all of crypto. So if that news continues coming out, this could go very, very well. So now about $70, there's that line that we'll put in. About that 39.6, and then there is that another level at about 39.7. So we just want to see this keeping its momentum going up, and this is the 5 minute chart. So obviously if we did go back to the 1 minute chart, it would probably be a little bit more choppy, but these are still bullish candles forming. What we're looking for with the bullish candles is we want the box to sort of have smaller whiskers at the top and bottom. So if it is just fully like a box, then that is really bullish, especially on the upside. There is a small whisker on the downside that again can be bullish, but let's change our stop loss now to negative $50, which just means if it hits that line, we cash out $50 in the positive. So basically, we can just sit back now. We cannot lose this trade, which is good. So we are starting off strong and still $100 in the green. Okay, let's show you guys what I'm looking at on my other channel, on my other monitors. So this is the trading view chart where we just have some other indicators going on for Hyperliquid. We can see change of characters, break of structures. We have weak highs, strong lows, basically just different indicators to look at. This isn't a buy or sell signal. This is just, I guess, showing us some other indicators as this chart continues to go up. Now $170 in the green. We can just keep moving this stop loss up and up so we make more gains. And this is our other monitor where we are just looking at MACD, RSI, and then an ultimate RSI, which just shows whether really this is overbought, oversold, and different trends like that. But this is good. It does look like we had one candle where there was some resistance. So you can see this is sort of a consolidation candle. Not the current candle, the one before it, where there is sort of a smaller box in the middle, two big whiskers either side. It sort of shows you that there is a lot of volatility between buyers and sellers. At least that's what I've learned from studying. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Again, this is another bearish candle. You can see it is about to flip bearish. This blue line isn't our stop loss, but all that red line is, and that is getting so close. Oh, there we go. It stopped through our stop loss, and boom, there we go. It sold. I just wanted to close out and make sure. So you can see here, we closed with a profit of $75. These are all my other previous trades, so just ignore them. But you guys can see that that is where we sit currently. That was a pretty good trade. I feel like we practiced sort of a good process of actually managing that. And you can see the other charts we're checking here. Bitcoin recovering even on the 5-minute chart. Wow, look at that. That is pretty strong, especially compared to what we have seen on some of the other charts as well. So another thing that I've started to do is let's just take a screenshot of this and we'll save it. But the whole point of this is that we want to be constantly learning from every trade. So we're going to be taking a snapshot of every trade we do in this and then writing notes about why we traded when we did, what our theory was. And I guess that way it sort of avoids us from breaking some of our rules, like no emotional trading. So we'll just write $75 gained after fees. We saw strong resistance oversold on RSI. And strong news day positive for crypto. Overall, expected a quick reversal. And again, this probably wasn't one of those longer term plays. So we did actually see quick downtrend and expected just a recovery, I guess, is all we're going to write. All right, here we go. We are now shorting Bitcoin. So this, I think, falls lower. So this is a little bit different because usually we are pretty bullish on the channel. So we are actually going negative. You can see there is a huge volume candle going on there. We're now $56 in the red. So again, this could just play out, but I feel like this is going to be one of those slow burns. We do have our stop loss set pretty tight because we are using 40 times leverage on Bitcoin, which might seem a little bit crazy, which is why you can see that we actually own 1 Bitcoin at the moment. So we're just going to see where this goes. And this could definitely be one of those longer term trades that we take as we check out other indicators. Okay, this is probably going to hit our stop loss. I really don't want to move this up. There we go. It's pretty much hit and broken through. $143 in the red, so that wipes out everything that we gained in the first trade. But we still need to take a screenshot of this and write some notes, at least about what we could have done better. Does seem like all the other charts are flipping as well. We do have some good movement down here on the MACD, so maybe we just had the wrong entry. I feel like overall we are usually pretty bullish, so we should probably trust our instincts and not go against them with bearish plays. But I feel like this challenge is all about learning. So not good so far. I think we're down about $75 overall. All right, there we go. We have longed Solana. So we are trying just a few different coins to see, I guess, what coin we enjoy trading, what we are good at trading as well, because every coin is going to trade a little bit differently. So we have quite a big liquidation price here, as you can see, but quite a short or a tight stop loss. So current price is 148.70. Our stop loss is 148.27. So this is going to be close. $13 in the red right now. I don't want to do a bunch of talking for all of the trades, especially if we are doing some longer trades. So we'll just see how this goes. And we might end up just monitoring this over the day, because this, again, is one of those videos that is going to take some time. I don't want to rush through all of these trades, because I want to make sure I'm doing it properly. So the longer that we take with these trades probably is for a good reason. It does seem like it is really hovering around our entry. Okay, there we go. Bullish, about $17 in the green. The other charts are following slightly, so it looks like Solana is just slightly delayed behind them, which is good. Hopefully, if they start selling off, we can get out of this trade before Solana catches up with the trend. $30 in the green now. This trade really played out over a long period of time. We were using a few different candle charts to see a few different time lengths as well. So swapping between the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 15 minutes. And of course, checking different I guess, cryptos as well to see what was happening over there. We slowly saw this rise and put $100 in the green. Finally, did take about 20 minutes or half an hour for this to actually play out. We sort of hovered around that $80 mark for a while. We did move up our stop loss to in the green, which is good. Again, means we cannot lose money on this. And the moment came where it finally hit the stop loss. Okay, there we go. We had our stop loss at about $40, and it hit it. But unfortunately, with fees, we actually only made $20. You can see the fees there, $21, which is crazy. So if we go perp, spot, and volume, we're down $230. But if we just go trading, we're down $200 because the Bitcoin fees were $50. That's crazy. So pretty much not only did we lose $200 from actually setting a stop loss, we lost even more because of the fees. All right, trade number 4. We have gone back to our roots, Hyperliquid, and this has dropped a lot. This has dropped a lot, but it does seem like it is slowly recovering. So we are currently sitting at $37.60. We're about $12 in the red right now. And again, our stop loss is $150. So we're not risking a crazy amount. And I think the other good thing about Hyperliquid is this coin only allows you to use up to 10 times leverage. So Solana is 20. I think Ethereum is 30 or maybe 25. And then Bitcoin is 40. 40 times leverage, which is just crazy. So hopefully this plays out. We do need to make some good gains to end up being in the green after this. So we'll see how we go. This chart moved rapidly. We quickly got up to $70 in the green. It hovered around this line for a little bit, and we just seemed to not be able to break through that $100 gain. We then fell through once again back under our entry. This was pretty volatile to trade, and I didn't really want to touch the stop loss just yet because I thought this thesis would still play out. And boom, there we go. In a single candle, it moved above what our previous highs were on the other candles, breaking through the $100 profit limit. And that is really where we basically set our stop loss and were able to keep moving this up. We then went $130, $140 in the green, and this kept going up. This was one of our better trades that we have done, not just for this challenge, but for the overall video as well. And with our stop loss set at about $100 in the green, it seemed like it was going to be one of our more profitable trades. We then quickly saw this chart going up to around $200 in the green. It wicked very quickly up to about that $250 level until finally slowly turning bearish and hitting our stop loss with $150 in the green. Wow. Okay. That was good. That felt good. That was definitely one of our better trades. I'm happy with that. And there we go. 24 hours done. Well, I guess not really done. This was all done in one day. But over like 6 hours, we've traded our way to $35 in the green. Now, we did do some other trades throughout this, and we do, of course, have some money staked as well, which means that $35 actually is a lot more. But what is good about this is this takes into account fees. So it's not just profit and loss, not including fees. This actually takes fees into it. So not the most ideal start, especially if we're trying to turn 3,000 into 100,000. You can see our perps account is currently sitting at 2,700. So to turn this into $100,000 is going to take a long time if we're making $35 a day. But hopefully we can just grow this, and the best sign is that we didn't lose money on day one. So if you want to see more like this, you know what to do. Subscribe.